I would like to tell you a boring story. A boring story about my day. While Cameron was reading, it was the guitar riff at the end of the Eagles' Hotel California, which has always pleased me because one guitar melds with another. So you hear one guitar, then another guitar, and then it comes together. A few minutes ago, the Bee Gees' Staying Alive began, and I thought, how funny that people think that film is some sort of funny John Travolta dancing when it actually is a brutal 70s exploitation film about inner city suffering. I complimented someone's potential growth of the shoulders and their silhouette. I saw someone move up to me from my peripheral vision, and they thought I didn't recognize them, but it was actually just the strange way they approached me. This ball is swaying, and it has been swaying above the head of lovely Bob and Jeff Kowalski for the last few minutes. When I was upstairs in the toilet, they were playing ELO, Telephone Line. My father loved ELO so much, and I love Jeff Lynne, the lead singer of ELO. And when I was younger, I saw a clip of him meeting, enjoy the film, I saw a clip of him meeting, I believe it was Prince Charles, and Prince Charles said, "What do you do?" And he said, these two people are so rude. The National Gallery on Friday night, I was telling the story of how wonderful Bella was reading a poem about a painting in front of her father, and I told it to a group of people, and they said, "She's definitely your student," and I felt very proud. And when I was in the toilet and I was listening to ELO and Jeff Lynne, I saw that my jumper made me look a little bit booby. Man boobies. My nipples were poking through, and I thought, it's not that cold. Why has that happened? Earlier today, after I finished my lecture, I meditated in a classroom, and someone came in, and I went, "Get out! I have the room booked!" And I thought, that's not what you're supposed to do during a meditation. But afterwards, strangely, because I was disturbed by this student, even though they can see me in the room, I seemed to get into it so much that when the meditation ended and the lights were off, I actually thought for a second, where am I? And then I realized. And I made my way to this venue, and I thought, oh, the issue's going to be peripheral noise. And so far there has been very little peripheral noise because we have been so well hosted. I thought, free popcorn. Is that demotivating for people to listen to people's stories, or does it help? I don't know what people's associations are. Earlier in the day, for some reason, I showed my undergraduate students footage of me cage fighting when I was younger. And I never really fleshed out what happened in that fight. It was against a bare-knuckle boxer called Andrew Lewis. And for many months before that fight, which I was paid quite a few £1,000s to do, they built him up like he was this terrible monster. He had won bare-knuckle boxing fights in the Welsh Valleys, they told me, to make me scared somehow, and I was very scared. I was afraid for my life. But because he didn't know how to grapple, I beat him in about 20 seconds. And that feeling that I had, that the terror switched in that one moment, because I looked into his eyes and I realized his entire identity was based off punching me, a soft student, in the face and knocking me out. And there he was in front of hundreds of people being strangled and having to get up and acknowledge that I had beaten him so quickly. And I felt a terrible empathy. It soon left me though when the money came into me, but I've changed. Now the empathy would have lasted a lot longer. Els is not Belgian. Nitty, I don't know where you're from, whether it's Flanders or the UK, either way they are Marcia's friends, and your names will never ever be forgotten. Julia whispered to her students to get them to come closer and closer to them, and the result was so positive because half of them stayed, sat at their seat, and the other half came close. Could it be a better result? During Simon's performance, he mentioned a curly pig in a mountain, I believe. And Bob's accent was too good for it to be funny. And that disappointed people in the audience. Matt's wearing his cap even though we're indoors. He will not take it off. We fear a receding hairline. I can assure you, it is not there. I heard moments and whispers in the background in the kitchen, but no one could hear it here, and I thought this is a good place for us to be. People will know now these boring details of my day. They will last forever on film with the 4 or 5 people who watch my YouTube channel. And all I can say is it has been a 5-minute success. Thank you.